Hi everyone, in this video I'll be showing how to fix your GRUB bootloader in your Debian installation. If it was working before and you get this, or if you're dual booting with Windows and it goes straight into Windows, then I'll show how you can get GRUB working again. Here I have GRUB and I'm dual booting Debian with Windows. So before fixing GRUB, I'll first have to break it. So I'm going to go into Debian. Now I'm going to open up Dolphin or File Manager. And I'm going to go into my /boot directory. And we see there's a GRUB folder, so I'm going to go into it. And in this folder, there are all the files for GRUB, and here's the main configuration file that GRUB reads during the boot process. I'm going to delete it, so I don't have elevated privileges, so I'm going to open up a terminal to delete it. Right-click, open terminal here, and I'll do a sudo remove, put in my password. All right, it's been removed. And if I reboot my computer, this is what I'll get. Now back in Debian, so I go back up to the boot directory, and if I delete the entire GRUB folder, so I'll do it again in terminal, put my password. So it's been deleted. And if I reboot, I'll see the same thing. And back in Debian, and so there's the EFI folder going into it, and then going into EFI. Here are three directories: boot, Debian, and Microsoft. I'm dual booting with Windows, so I have this Microsoft folder, and there's the Debian folder. And if I go into it, this is where the EFI bootloaders are located. And you'll see a grub.cfg file. This file is different from the one that I deleted earlier. So if I go into it, it just tells it where the main grub configuration file is located. As we can see, it was under /boot/grub/grub.cfg. So I'm going to close this. And so these EFI bootloader files are used when my computer starts. And if I go back out and I go into the boot directory, and it has a bootx64.efi file. Now this is actually a fallback bootloader. It's actually the same as the grubx64.efi file. This one here. And if I were to delete everything here in the Debian folder, and also as well as in the boot folder, Debian, and I'll do the boot folder. And if I were to reboot, it would go straight into Windows. And this can happen, for example, after a Windows update, as Microsoft is known for removing anything not related to Windows in the EFI partition. So now I'll show how you can get GRUB working again. You'll need access to a Linux Live environment. I'm going to use the Debian Live installation media available on the www.debian.org website. And then going to Other Downloads. And I'm going to use the Live KDE version. And once you have the file, you're going to boot from it. All right, it's booted up. I'm going to go into the live system. It's booted into the live environment. Now by default, when you install Debian, you'll have two partitions, / and /boot/EFI. So I'll need to mount those two partitions. So first I'll need to find out where my Linux partitions are located. I'm going to open up a terminal. I'm going to sudo in. I'm going to type in fdisk-l. And so we see here /dev/sda. And we see here /dev/sda1. It's an EFI system partition. So by default, Debian would install the boot files here. So I'll need to have this partition mounted. And then at the bottom there, I have /dev/sda5 Linux file system, and that's where my root partition is located. So I'll need to have that mounted as well. So I'm going to mount that first. So I'm going to use the /mnt directory for mounting. First, I'm going to make sure there's nothing there. ls-al mnt, there's nothing there. Now I'm going to mount dev sda5. All right, it's been mounted. And you have other Linux partitions. You can always check the etcfs tab file in your Debian installation. So I'll do a quick cat on it, cat mount etcfs tab. And in my case, I just have /boot/EFI and /. And to the left of it are the UUIDs, and they're just identifiers for the partitions. So if I were to run lsblock --fs, And then we can see, for example, UUID BA60A15A is dev SDA1. And now I'm going to mount dev SDA1. And now I'm going to mount dev proc sys and run. And the -B just means to bind, and they've been mounted. And now I'm going to chroot into the MNT directory. Next, I'm going to mount the EFI variables to make them available. And now I'm going to do a grub install. All right, installation finished, no errors reported, so that's good. Next, I'm going to create a new GRUB configuration file. And as I'm dual booting with Windows, I'm going to make sure that it can get detected. So I'm going to open up the default GRUB file using nano. And there we see grub disable OS prober equals false. So it's set. I'm going to exit out, Control X, and I'm going to run grub make config. So the new file will be created under /boot/grub/grub.cfg. Alright, and then it has generated the grub configuration file, and it has found the Windows Boot Manager. Now I'm going to exit out of the chroot. Now I'm going to reboot my computer and go into the BIOS. Alright, in my boot order, there's the Windows Boot Manager, and then there's Debian. So I'm going to change it so Debian is first, and save changes and exit. Alright, grub comes back up, and there's Debian, and there's the Windows Boot Manager. So I'm going to go into Debian. Alright, it's booted into Debian, and I'm going to restart to check I can get into Windows. Selecting Windows. Alright, and it's booted into Windows. In the case of a separate EFI partition, the process is essentially the same, but I'll go through it. So I'm going to do an fdisk-l. I had installed Debian on my NVMe drive, a separate disk, and we see there on my NVMe drive partition number 2 is the EFI system partition for Debian, and partition number 3 is the Linux file system, and dev SDA is my SSD, and that is where I have Windows. On my NVMe drive, I'll need to mount partition number 2 and number 3. So I'll be mounting it to the /mnt directory. First I'll do partition number 3, which is my root partition. And then partition number 2, it will be going to the mount/boot/EFI directory. And now I'm going to mount dev proc sys and run. And now I'm going to chroot into the mount directory. So I'm going to mount the EFI variables, make them available, and do a grub install. Since I'm dual booting with Windows, check the EFI default grub file. And there's grub disable OS prober equals false. I'm going to exit out and make a new grub configuration file. So that's it. That's how you can fix your GRUB bootloader in your Debian installation. I hope this video has been useful, and I thank you for watching. Bye now.